Especially because of the fact that he's bench
yeah, he's making his point and he's sticking with it.
Fan Central Extra Time brought to you by Pepsi.
Your information is valuable. Think before you share. The time brought to you by the Office of the Information Commissioner is
8 o'clock. Fan Central Extra Time brought to you by Pepsi and Courts, bringing value home.
Match link up, Fan Central full up. Me team win, every bad cover lift up. Them a silly billy. Me carry real bad team, not a illy billy. No bandwagon to the thing, no bother switchy. Represent for your team to the nitty gritty. School silly billy. No bother tell me about your team and them no make the semi. Game sweet, girl I call it sugar daddy. CVM TV, for everybody.
World Cup 2026. Why is it that the... So I know you must be wondering, with a few hours before the start of World Cup 2026, why is it that the King is still in the 2022 kit? I tell you, I've ordered, they have shipped, and it is yet to be in Jamaica. Though they promised me that I would have gotten it yesterday. But that can't dampen the spirit of a man who has been supporting the Germans since 1986. 40 years, 10 World Cups. And during that period of time, we have been to the finals 4 times. In 1986 and in 2002, runner-ups. And in 1990 and 2014, we beat Argentina with a Bob Marley, One Love. We are back, and we're going to show our mantle once more.
Wow, I've dealt with quite a few German fans in my time, and I tell you, that's exactly how they act, especially given what happened earlier today over there in the USA, Mexico, and Canada. Of course, it's the greatest show on earth, and you can check in here on Fan Central Extra Time because the full-time whistle has gone, and you can join us here to review all the excitement over there. And trust me, you have to remember, if you look to my left, I have my Pepsi ready to go. My name is Kimani O'Sullivan, and of course, Fan Central Extra Time is powered by Pepsi, and we are grateful for our friends over there that they could prepare us to discuss all the excitement over there at the showpiece event of football. And of course, when reviewing the showpiece event of football, you have to assemble an A-team, so to speak. And of course, I am flanked by our usual expert in all things tactics, all things football. He's none other than Jermaine Thomas. He's the coach. He's a coaching educator with JFF, and he's also an assistant coach with the National Men's Under-20 team. And he's also head coach of Malines United Football Club, along with McGrath High School. Good to be with you, coach.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man.
For sure. And we'll be joined soon by former Reggae Boy Tyrone Marshall. And he was also a part of the Reggae Boy squad for over 10 years, 83 appearances for the Reggae Boys. So he'll be adding his expertise to our discussion. Of course, I have to make mention of our fan corner. That will come up later down in our broadcast. But nonetheless, we have so much to talk about. And coach, I don't know. I mean, the Germany statement today, I was very impressed, given that Germany failed to exit the group stage in the last World Cup, the last tournament, that is. Wow, 7-1. What a statement.
Massive. We suffered. When I said we suffered, I'm talking Brazil. Humiliating defeat. It was 2014. Yeah, 2014, right? Heartbreaking. But today was a huge statement. I thought Germany was sending a clear signal that irrespective of the opponents, with respect, we are going to play. And they did play. I just thought, if I'm allowed to say this, Kyrgyz was a little bit too brave. Wow. Yeah, it was a little bit too brave, and I thought they paid for it.
Yeah, Coach, we'll be diving into that game a bit further as we go on. Quick touch on the Japan-Netherlands game. Wow.
Mechanical one, technical one. First 45 was a cat and mouse. Wait, watch, see, and toying with each other. Nobody wanted to concede. They were all behind, low block, mid block, right through both teams until they were forced to open. It got a little bit excited in second half.
Yeah, of course, Coach, and yourself and Jordan on Fan Central Extra Time. Yesterday, you would have been out of here before probably the biggest upset of the tournament thus far, because Australia, the mighty Aussies, the Socceroos they are called, they basically upset the Turkey team 2-0. Never saw that one coming, Coach, and I'm sure you didn't see that one coming either.
Well, Australia won 2 games the last World Cup.
Right.
Rugged team, very, very robotic and athletic as well, and they will be playing to their strength. They have some brave players who will not be shy to shoot. And you saw the 2 goals they scored, and I thought they defended their lives out today, and I thought that really made a difference. Yeah,
and Coach, when it comes to Turkey, of course, they're one of the prominent nations in Europe. How do you fall short going up against a team like the Socceroos, like Australia? Many persons would have Turkey as a dark horse in the tournament, given the stars they have, like an Arda Güler, like Barek Yilmaz, Kenan Yildiz, who had a tremendous season at Juventus. How does that happen, Coach? Is it a lack of urgency by the Turkey team?
2002, quickly, France. I think they won World Cup 1998, yes. And 2002, they were facing Senegal. And they were beaten. It is easy. You go into a game. Football is all about scoring your opportunities and preventing opponent from scoring against you. And today, Turkey just simply failed to do that. It can happen. Players can go in and sometimes thinking, no matter how much the coach or the technical staff may warn against complacency, you being too relaxed, players will still go into the game. Oh, this might be simple, even though it's a World Cup, and you can find yourself out of time.
Yeah, we can find ourselves out of time, Coach. And when you think about time, we definitely want to make known our fan corner guru, I can call her, lover of all things, Reese James. I'm just putting you on Front Street. She's Rashida Edwards over there, and she is our fan extraordinaire. Rashida, Turkey, Australia, the Socceroos punching Turkey in their face. Thoughts on that?
Thank you, Kimani. I'm one of the only fans in the world who is not shocked, and I wouldn't say it's an upset. If you have been watching Australia coming into, and Turkey as well, you'd see that it was a level-headed game for both of them to walk away with a point. Turkey, because they have the more known names, and you mentioned some of the players who are well known across Europe. However, Australia was in terms of height, they overpowered Turkey. And I think for especially the last Euros specifically, Turkey is always considered a dark horse. And I think people misuse that term a lot, because dark horse doesn't necessarily mean you're a powerhouse to win. It's a team that nobody sees. And at this point, we're all looking at Turkey to win. And so given that they would have lost, I wasn't shocked in the least, because Australia definitely deserved that game.
All right, thank you, Rashida Murphy, and we'll be hearing from her soon, because she's with a very special someone. Many of our fans of football and international football will be familiar with. We have a surprise here. Of course, we are on Fan Central Extra Time, powered by Pepsi, and it's time for the breakdown. And once it's time for the breakdown, that means Coach Thomas, over to the board, because we have to dissect Julian Nagelsmann's team actually just mollywhopping Curacao. I know many Jamaicans were watching that game thinking, that should be us at the World Cup going against a team like Germany. But when you see the shellacking, do people still say shellacking? The shellacking that Germany handed out to a team like Curacao, who is optimistic, wow, one can just only wonder, is Die Mannschaft, are they back And will we see the German flag flown high at the beautiful games showpiece? Coach, I think you're just about ready to take us through the breakdown, because Germany and Curacao, coach, we know what Julian Nagelsmann is about. We know he's a high-pressing coach. He loves to play in those pockets and actually, you know, get those combinations in and around the center of the park. And it seemed like after a while, Curacao just caved under the pressure after equalizing early.
Curacao, I thought, sat in a very good low block. Red is Curacao. It was 4-5-1. They're the red team here. They sat in a very low block. They defended. They wanted to play on the counter, which in the first couple of minutes, you saw them getting away with the Bakuna brothers. All right, they were the outlets. So they tried to play in these areas. All right, tried to play in these areas, and also here as soon as they go forward. I thought the mistake they made, however, when they were countering, they move with all these players. And I thought they weren't set up to defend or to stop the counter attack. And I thought that's where Germany hurt them. Germany, on the other hand, quickly, Germany was very, very mechanical, and it was a masterpiece.
As they're known to be, coach.
Yeah, it was a masterpiece to watch. The Curacao sat in the low block. No, Germany played in and around the low block, and I thought Curacao weren't proactive. So when the midfielders were coming through and making the runs in these pockets and making runs in these pockets, Curacao still stayed in the low block and weren't tracking and marking, and so they conceded the first and the second goal. So they were sitting still and they weren't tracking and marking, and then the left midfielders and the right midfielders keep on coming inside and taking one touches and moving, and then the 9 dropped, and then the 8, the 10 move in behind, and the balls were flowing through the spaces freely like this.
So there was a lot of rotation, coach, and
yes,
of course using a player like Kai Havertz, who is known to float around, especially
he was
Musiala and Florian.
Yeah, baby Messi. He was also good. But the player from Mead today was De Jong. He played a massive role in all of this. Because what they did...
that's Felix Mecha, coach.
Right.
Yeah, right. Felix Mecha for Germany.
Right, the holding midfielder,
yeah,
right?
The holding midfielder.
Right,
exactly.
No, sorry. So he was here. So he allowed also the wing back on the right-hand side to move up and join. So they created the overload some of the time on this side of the pitch. And that gave Curacao a problem, because they had to shift to get across. And once they shift, space created in between, balls plays inside, 8 and the 10, attacking midfielders latched on, and that was a problem.
Yeah, and coach, you've deployed counter-pressing in your time. The Germans, they call it Gegenpressing, of course.
Right.
How do you defend against Gegenpressing? Of course, when a team is suffocating you defensively, let's say you're on the defensive end, coach, and teams are packing the middle. Of course, if there's a turnover, you have more bodies.
Right.
How hard is that to defend as a defending team, in this case, Curacao?
In all honesty, Curacao tried, but Germany was just too good. Because Curacao played in the Bakuna brothers as soon as they received. So it comes down to body orientation, how well you're receiving, where are you're turned to, and stuff like that. How quick you can position yourself to get the ball out, and your technical ability. If your midfielders, your 6 and your 8, are not competent, and your centre backs are not competent to play out, it's going to be difficult. If you try to play out with numbers in front of you, if the area is congested, you're going to be in trouble. Some teams normally go over the press and play to the outside players down the channel. But if you try to play here, which Curacao did sometimes, and Germany picked their pockets, and I thought that was a mistake. And most times.
So let me ask you this then, coach. If the counter press is bypassed and you have talented players in transition, Curacao weren't or isn't as gifted with transition players. Maybe Taith Chung is the only player that is gifted with pace that can trouble a backline. Of course, Germany is pressed up high into the opposing half. Will this be a problem for Germany when they face those bigger teams?
I mean, not necessarily. It comes down to, again, let me mention of the holding midfielder. he was the one who was prepared to go across and mop up just in case. And I think their centre backs are quick enough, and they showed it today because yes, Curacao got them a couple of times today in the first 7 minutes thereabout, and even the goal that they scored, you know. But I'm thinking that the coach will be looking at it and of course try and fix. But I think there is enough power inside the front six that can break down a team. And Curacao again in the low block. Germany was patient inside the attacking third, the opponent's half, and they played around the low block. And that was a feature of the game. That was good for me.
So, Coach, I feel like we've been beating down on our Caribbean neighbors for too long. Do you see Curacao quickly probably hurting a few other teams within this group?
Hard to say. They look good in patches today. They were very, very brave today. And if I ask them, probably a little bit too brave, not being negative, but just a little bit. When they scored for a second, I was thinking that Curacao might be smelling blood here, and they might be thinking about 3 points. And against a Germany team with 60 or 70 odd minutes to go at the World Cup stage, I mean, you don't want to be thinking that kind of way. And I thought they just got a little bit overly excited when they scored, and I thought that kind of threw them off of it.
Well, huge statement by Germany. And we have a bit more analysis to come right here on Fan Central Extra Time. Don't go anywhere. We are here discussing all the happenings over there in the greatest show on earth. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Link up, Fan Central full up. Me team win, every bad cover lift up. Them a silly billy. Me carry real bad team, not a illy billy. Now bandwagon to the thing, now bad a switchy. Represent for your team to the nitty gritty. School them.
Welcome to the Pepsi Football Nation.
Rule number 1, it's called football, not soccer.
Rule number 2, they should get rid of VAR.
No. Every decision should go to VAR.
Write this down. Pepsi should be the official drink of the nation.
I love that. They won't agree on anything.
That's where Rule 100 kicks in. Everything gets settled on the pitch. What about you? What rule would you want?
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Hi, I am Candy Pang.
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan.
Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Fan Central full up. Me team win, every bad cover lift up. Them a silly billy. Me carry real bad team, not a illy billy. Now bandwagon to the thing, now bad a switchy. Represent for your team to the nitty gritty. School silly billy. Now bad a tell me about your team and them to make the semi. Game sweet, girl I call it sugar daddy. CVM TV, for everybody.
Static.
We are back on Fan Central Extra Time, and trust me, we are just getting into the analysis because another cracking game happened earlier today, and we want to dive right into the action. Coach Jermaine Thomas is still at the tactics board for the breakdown, but we have a substitution that came in. Matter of fact, an inclusion, if you can call it that, because former reggae boy Tyrone Marshall has joined the fray, and I just want to get a quick reaction from him from that humdinger he witnessed between Germany and Curacao. Tyrone, are you here with us? Not sure Tyrone has joined us just yet. He's probably still warming up so he doesn't pull a hammy. He's had a few of those in his past. Tyrone, are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you fine now. Thank you.
Great. Tyrone, 7-1. The German national team with a massive statement early. What are your thoughts on that? Was Curacao a bit too brave, as Coach Jermaine Thomas said? Or was Germany just way better than them, and that's what Germany does? They're the machines, of course.
Yeah, first of all, good evening. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, watching the game today, you can see the dominance. Obviously Curacao felt themselves a little bit. They scored a goal, which kudos to them. Their first World Cup appearance and scored against a mighty Germans. So you got to give them that little bit of, tap your hat to them because it shows courage, it shows everything,
Coach, Hold that thought, Coach. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to have a Pepsi break right now, so we'll be right back here on Fan Central Extra Time.
Charlie, please! Static.
Welcome to the Pepsi Football Nation.
Rule number 1, it's called football, not soccer.
Rule number 2, they should get rid of VAR.
No. Every decision should go to VAR.
Write this down. Pepsi should be the official drink of the nation.
I love Pepsi. They won't agree on anything.
That's where Rule 100 kicks in. Everything gets settled on the pitch. What about you? What rule would you want?
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Match link up, Fan Central full up. Me team win, everybody cover lift up. Them a silly billy.
Thank you for joining us. We are still here on Fan Central Extra Time. I've had my Pepsi break, and I must say I am cooled, I'm refreshed. And of course, Tyrone Marshall, former reggae boy, he is refreshed and he's fully stretched now and ready to get into the game. Tyrone, you still here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. You were giving your thoughts on the 7-1 win by Germany against our Caribbean neighbors, Curacao.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think Curacao, obviously their first World Cup, they're feeling themselves a little bit, being brave, adventurous, getting forward. The Germans obviously scored first. They were in gear 1, and then Curacao scored, made it 1-1. And I think they turned up the to speed a little bit more on Curacao, because at some point, it's a different level and they show that class, and, the goals came. And so, it was brave for Curacao for the first half, so on and so forth. But, the Germans showed their quality. They stepped it up another notch and, put away the chances and to show why they're considered as one of the favorite going into this tournament.
All right, Coach Marshall says Germany is a heavy favorite going into this tournament. I'm not sure how many people would agree with him. There are a few who think that Toni Kroos leaving a massive hole in that midfield might be their undoing in this World Cup. But this showpiece event, of course. But let's go to the breakdown with Coach Thomas. He is by the tactic board. And Coach, the Japanese team going head to head, toe to toe with the Dutch. It's important to note, Coach, Japan hasn't lost a game since October. And they won all the previous games before this one, and now they've drawn with the Netherlands.
Well, massive result. Japan was there in 1998 with us. We defeated them 2-1.
Look at
Theodore, the great Whitmore, had a double there, and they're back at this one. I think they have been at every single one since. All right? But let's quickly move over. Japan was good. They sat in a low block. So it was line 2, mainly. And when they needed to go low, they were very, very low, compact, organized, and very, very quick to close down any little pockets or spaces the Netherlands tried to get. So they were very good in that. All right? Netherlands, on the other hand, 4 at the back to start with. But in attack, change to 3, he would have pushed up.
Right, Van de Ven, coach.
Right, Van de Ven pushed up, right. And then left-sided centre half now, right. 3 across the back, and then they'll be playing. But the young for me was a master class today. He was just awesome. And he wasn't afraid to drop in between or push into these areas. And that, I think, pulled Japan apart sometimes, with him pushing a little bit higher and then having Van Dijk or the other centre half pushing as well. Now, this side was the trouble side. This side was the trouble side for Japan. And they tried to come down with overload, with the wing back pushing, displaying the off space here, occupy the wing back. So he was left in 2 minds sometimes. Should I? Or, right, they got some crosses in as well, and I thought that made a difference. Japan conceded.
Changed the game.
And that changed the complexion of the game. And Japan, once they conceded, they opened a bit, and they were now forced to confront Germany a bit higher up the pitch. And once that was done, in the second half, we got a more open game, and both teams were playing. But Japan was very good in the wide areas. When they started playing in the wide areas, they tried to pull Netherlands apart. And I thought the second goal, second equalizer, came from a ball in the wide area. And they did that, and Netherlands a couple of times, once it went left or right in the wide areas, they were uncomfortable. What was surprising, though, the header that was scored, when you look at the height difference, that was a little bit surprising.
Yeah, the Virgil van Dijk header.
Right. But the German coach is going to be very, very hungry with his left back. When they conceded the goal, if you look back at it carefully, he was caught napping when they conceded. He played the man onside, and they'll be looking back at that. But I thought it was a good game, very, very tactical game. You saw both teams. Japan wasn't afraid to go in the low block. Netherlands wasn't afraid either. Once Japan pushed numbers forward, everybody filtered behind the ball, and it is kind of consistent right during the World Cup. You're seeing every single team, the better ones, everybody funneling as quick as possible behind the ball, and today we kind of saw that.
Yeah, I just want to bring Tyrone in here, Coach Thomas, because Tyrone, from a defender's perspective, the Japanese team were using somewhat of a hybrid 3 at the back, as Coach alluded to. A lot of overloads on the wing. You are a defender yourself. How do you alleviate those scenarios, especially given when it's happening out wide? Give us some insight into what the Dutch team had to deal with today from the Japanese team.
Yeah, as you mentioned, having those overloads in the wide areas and how, as a defender, to deal with those situations. Obviously, when you find yourself isolated, a lot of it has to be with shifting the line across. And how to combat that. Obviously, if you're on the left side, the right side players have to come across, center backs have to come across, and that's how you kind of deal with that scenario. Obviously, the spaces at times, you couldn't cover those spaces as quickly as you wanted to, and they had created some overloads in the box as well. So you find those moments on the side where you get the 2v1s, and to be fair, you'd rather the ball be out wide in a 2v1 scenario rather than playing it inside. So it's a difficult situation sometimes, but it's a shifting has to occur quickly to alleviate those 1v1s on the wings, or 2v1s on the wings, excuse me. And that's how you kind of combat that situation.
Right, coach. And of course, Japan equalized in the latter parts of the game, denying the Dutch the 3 points, massive 3 points in the end, because if you think about that group and the teams they have to contend with, nothing sure when it comes to the showpiece event over there in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. Still more here on Fan Central Extra Time. We'll be right back. Don't move a muscle. We'll be right back.
Start your journey with a Jane Bank Small Business Loan, with small business loans with as little as $10,000 and up to $4 million.
The time is 8:30.
Welcome to the Pepsi Football Nation.
Rule number 1, it's called football, not soccer. Rule number 2, they should get rid of VAR.
No. Every decision should go to VAR.
Write this down. Pepsi should be the official drink of the nation.
I love that. They won't agree on anything.
That's where Rule 100 kicks in. Everything gets settled on the pitch. What about you? What rule would you want?
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Shall full up. Me team win, every bad cover lift up. Them a silly billy. Me carry real bad team, not a illy billy. Now bandwagon to the thing, now bad a switchy. Represent for your team to the nitty gritty. School.
Thank you for staying with us. We are still live on Fan Central Extra Time. Kimani O'Sullivan here with Coach Jermaine Thomas and Tyrone Marshall. But Rashida Murphy, our fan corner guru, she's standing by with a very special fan. Many of you might know him from a very viral video clip.
The round of 16 won 6 points each.
I feel like, well, fun.
Argentina legend
The fun has some work and it's a hater.
After being treated
know nothing about football and I come share some side. The fun devil on one side and I World Cup and I come beat side against one side.
Over Nigeria.
The fun from who
message on his Instagram account.
That me I telling the pound here.
Problem with his neck.
Try about it straight. Nothing change. Nothing to change in my game.
Maradona.
One team.
Expressive.
Not changing in game. Wow. Rashida, is he crying over there?
I think after today's results, he's not crying. With me here is Leon Thomas. Hi, thank you for joining me tonight. Lawson, sorry. How does it feel to be the only true Germany supporter?
Feels great.
Yes.
Very great.
Yes, after that video. Okay, so you are viral, most known. Let's see how much you know and what the knowledge is like. So let me know what's your expectation for Germany coming into this World Cup?
Well, the expectations for me, seeing is my team, Germany, over the years I've been watching them, is always a team in the top 4.
Right.
Quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. We were mostly stopped by Brazil back then in the finals when we and them met.
Right,
So it was overwhelming and great for me when I gave them 7. That is making up for all the years that I took the championship from me.
Yes.
You know?
Of course, I'm also a Germany fan myself, and a big question that I think is on a lot of fans' mind, and I want to hear your, do you think Manuel Neuer should be our starting goalkeeper throughout the tournament?
A good question. For me, I said it before that Barman was there throughout all the qualifying. He played all the qualifying match for us. If it wasn't him, we started with Thursday again for us. But he got injured. So we worked with Barman. Sometimes Newell got his chances.
So you're a real fan, you know the players. So so this is also a normal football questions that persons normally ask. Give us 5 players on the team.
Oh God, I'm start from the back line.
Yes.
Manuel Neuer.
Yes.
Joshua Kimmich, my captain. Slotterbeck. Jonathan Tah. Right now we have Nathan Brown over there, but it was Ram.
So you're listing the starting lineup.
We have Bill Stat on that side.
Yes, you're listing the starting lineup. Let me test your knowledge a little bit more. What record does Julian Nagelsmann currently hold in the World Cup?
Oh gosh, the youngest coach in the World Cup at 38. Manuel Neuer is 40.
So you are well expertise Germany fan. Also, another pressing question here. Cause I want to see how well he knows and if he's a bandwagon. Who scored our fourth goal today?
The 4th goal today.
Yes.
All right. The first goal was scored by who opened the scoring for us again? Nemcha. Then Curacao equalized. Kai Havertz with a penalty.
Yes.
After Kai Havertz, we had who scored again for too much goal scored. I know that Musiala.
But ask the 4th.
Musiala scored.
He's the 4th goal scorer for the.
Musiala scored.
And who scored the last one?
The last one was scored by, I think it is what do you name? Not Kai Havertz scored the last one. Yeah, Kai Havertz scored the last one. Yeah.
So you're not a bandwagon. So you know what you're talking about, and you proudly representing Germany here.
From a longer time, not just now.
Yes.
Because what got me influence and carrying this German team, my friend Philip Riley.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a German, but before that, I used to watch football and thing, and I say, everybody will go to Brazil and Argentina, mostly flair. Germany wasn't a team with no flair baller.
Technical players.
We always would try to go through the middle, but if we cannot break it down through the middle, we're going on the flanks.
Right.
Square it in, a header. 90% of the chances it must score. So that brought me to Germany, a whole compact team. It's not like a one-man show. Everybody was involved.
Yes. So no bandwagon is over here, guys.
No time.
Also, I heard you mention a lot of our talented and gifted players. Do you think we stand a better chance going to the finals if Leonard Carr, for example, wasn't injured, or Serge Gnabry? Do you think that stifles our chances, or what are your thoughts on that?
It doesn't really stifle our chances, but it is really a great loss. At 18 years old, I put him on my status, when he was in Bayern, and telling them, look out for this youth.
So are you saying he could have rivaled Yamal for the best youngster at the tournament? That's what you're saying? You're making a bold statement
even
here.
Finland match, you saw that. It's like a spark of talent that he had.
Right, because he was, this World Cup is probably promised for him to break onto the scene.
Julian Sina, Sani is a good player, but a headache.
Do you think we should have moved on from him for this World Cup, or does he have a place in the squad?
I think he has a place, but not as a starter. He has a better impact coming off the bench.
Also, I think a lot of fans today would have vocalized the questioning of Tah over Rudiger in the starting lineup as a centre back. What's your take on that?
Well, to me, Tah is more composed around the back.
Right. Younger legs,
Yeah, he plays with more understanding. Rudiger is more of a hard tackler.
Right, Which has gotten us in trouble before.
Which
has gotten us in trouble before, yes.
I feel comfortable with this backline that Julian has right there.
And the squad overall, you think that this is a squad that can, if we get Spain and France in the...
Well, you saw that in the Euro. They simply cheat us out the Euro with a handball by Cucurella.
Right.
It's after the Euros that they really analysed it back and said, well, it was really a penalty.
Well, no, with the advanced technology that they have introduced in the World Cup, nothing will go unnoticed. So you're looking for the big trophy come at the end of the World Cup.
Trophy number 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
And anything you want to say to young Germany fans who probably, the last 2 World Cups are really sore for us and we have not had that moment. You'd like to tell them, not the bandwagonists, but the real fans for this World Cup, what is the message you want them to hear tonight?
2018, 2022, put that behind us. Let's move forward. This is a new squad. We have gone now 10 matches unbeaten coming into the tournament.
So you're
Slovakia was the only scare in that qualifier when they beat us in the first match. So just keep your head up. Don't be a wagadis, keep supporting Germany.
Well, thank you so much. You are just a star in of yourself. Thank you for joining me on Fan Corner. So now I want to share my top 3 players of the day, Kimani, and see what everybody thinks and get you guys' thoughts. So leading on to Germany, I'd say my most outstanding player, and maybe it's bias as a Germany fan, but I'll say Jamal Musiala. He coming off of a could have been a career injury. I'd say that he completely dominated the midfield today. He showed signs of himself before the injury, and it was very fun to see him creating the chances, doing the playmaking, dropping deep. Loved him. So he's my number 1 pick of the day. I'd go Kamada from Japan as also one of because he's an experienced part of the Japan team, and he also has World Cup experience coming in. And so in a game like this where you don't want to lose the first game, you want to at least get a point, and he stood up and took that corner arm across, headed in. Old style goal, get in the box, just score. And to round it off, I would say Somerville from Netherlands would be one of the other good performance. He was giving Japan a lot of trouble on the wings, coming down the flanks, and he was due for a goal. Let's see if anybody, Kimani, do you have any opposing thoughts on that?
Well, Rashida, I must confess, the Kamada pick is a bit surprising.
Okay.
I thought he was in and out of the game. In terms of his impact. Of course, he scored a huge goal. I'm going to be honest, Felix Mecha, I wanted to ask our Germany fan over there a quick question, Leon, because Felix Mecha, that was a dive, right? We're all in agreement here. That was a dive for that penalty that Kai Havertz put away. Coach, am I alone? For those in TV land, that was a dive. That was a stonewall dive.
Don't see that.
Hold on. Let me get an unbiased opinion here. Tyrone, wasn't that a dive by Felix Mecha today in that Germany game?
It was a soft penalty. Let's put it that way. Soft penalty. I thought he could have done, it's not a dive for sure.
So Tyrone, you're saying that it's a penalty, but it's soft.
Yeah.
Please define a soft penalty for me. Soft penalty.
Well, it's soft because, there was contact, but I thought he could have played through it. However, with everything that's going on now with any sort of touch, you're going down, you're going to get the call because of VAR. So that was a soft one. He could have played through it.
Tyrone, you made my case then. He threw himself down. He
got knocked.
No, hold on. Coach Thomas is over here quiet as a lamb. He might know that was simulation at its finest. Coach Thomas.
Brave statement, but contact was made.
Yeah, contact was made.
That's a single.
It's not netball.
No, contact was made.
It's not netball, coach.
No, contact was made and the player went down. If the contact was made and the player went down, the referee blew.
Yeah.
Penalty.
Yeah, correct.
All right, let me hear Rashida and our biggest Germany fan, Leon. Foul or no foul? Dive or no dive? Talk to me.
That's a foul, man. As I say, soft. It's a foul, man. If you look at the match with South Africa and Mexico, it's basically one of the same penalties where the player got a red card for, It's one of those same
No,
tackles.
Leon, that was a
soft
last
tackle.
man tackle, Leon. Man, that was a
soft
last
tackle.
man tackle. He was in on goal. The defender
But it's a soft tackle same way.
The dribbler cut across the defender tripped him up, coach.
But it's a
Still
soft
on goal.
tackle.
But
That's still a
Kimani
soft
with-
tackle.
No, but that's a stonewall
But
penalty. Coach.
I'm thinking Tyrone, as a defender, or past defender, probably can help me with this. The defender should have done better.
100%.
Yeah, he should have done better.
Okay.
And I thought he was careless.
He left his foot out there,
Yeah.
and it just gave the referee, it's 100% the referee's going to call that because of how he, lunged into the tackle.
You know what that was?
I thought he was late.
You know what that was, Tyrone? That was a quintessential Premier League penalty that was handed out today. An EPL Premier League. An EPL, English Premier League penalty.
Would not say
Leon, how much sound?
Would not say
That's
that.
your opinion.
Okay, you're not going to agree with me. Anyway, we're still here on Fan Central Extra Time. We have our Pepsis to our left. Of course, Fan Central Extra Time is powered by Pepsi, and we'll be right back with after this commercial break. And we have more news coming from over there in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, and a few minutes for what's happening on social media. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Real bad team, not a illy-billy. No bandwagon to the thing, no bother switchy. Represent for your team to the nitty-gritty. School, silly-billy. No bother tell me about your team.
Welcome to the Pepsi Football Nation.
Rule number 1, it's called football, not soccer.
Rule number 2, they should get rid of VAR.
No. Every decision should go to VAR.
Write this down. Pepsi should be the official drink of the nation.
I love that. They won't agree on anything.
That's where Rule 100 kicks in. Everything gets settled on the pitch. What about you? What rule would you want?
Every dream conquered is another dream game. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people never say we are march up the dance. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got the spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights
Essential full up. Me team win, every bad cover lift up. Them a silly billy. Me carry real bad team, not a illy-billy. No bandwagon to the thing, no bother switchy. Represent for your team to the nitty-gritty. School, silly billy. No bother tell me about your team and them no make the same.
On Fan Central Extra Time, after a packed day of action over there, of course, from the USA, Canada, and Mexico, the football showpiece is happening. And of course, it's time to take a quick investigation around what our producers have produced for us, has presented for us from social media. And I think this video should be a bit interesting because Korea is having a good time in Mexico. They have gotten a victory thus far, defeating, if memory serves me right, I believe they defeated that's South Korea, of course. Let's get this video and then I'll remind you who they defeated.
Moment because you see these two different countries supporting each other, and it was just like a sight to see. And I don't know if this will ever happen again. So if you're on the fence on going to a match in Mexico for Korea, I highly recommend it. You should go. Viva Mexico, Viva Korea. I was so upset when I heard that the Korea games were all going to be hosted at Mexico, but I was wrong. I was hoping at least one of the groups.
Well, I must say, I love to see that. Coach Thomas, I believe that in a World Cup that has been filled with so separation, so much discord. To see that is heartwarming, I must say.
Yeah, good. Happy to see it as well because we have had several incidents and with persons being denied visas, denied entries, and camps being moved from one country to the next. I think this argues well, and this is a part of FIFA mantra as well because they want to see countries, competing and working together. And to see this coming out now, I think it speaks volume. And I'm hoping that other countries, other fans and stuff like that, can share the love like this. Because football was meant for this kind of camaraderie and good relationship.
Yeah, we always love to see it. From the German fans, we have Leon here. I'm not sure how you'd feel about seeing that South Korea video, having experienced a few tears at the hands of the Koreans. Of course, we remember that last tournament, the South Koreans, of course. Leon, did you like that video? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I sure did.
Any PTSD over there or nothing like that?
We've moved on, Kimani. We have moved on.
That's what the beautiful game
We're
is about.
putting it behind us.
2018 and 2022 behind us. But still vivid in the back of the memory because I still want to beat them, I want to meet them back, Korea and Japan, yeah, man. I want to beat them back.
All right, so we hope that will be your portion. Well, I don't really have a horse in that race. I'm not really concerned about what Germany does because Germany doesn't want to see my team anywhere anytime soon. That's the Belgian team. But let's talk about the hydration breaks because those have been very prominent now. It's scorching over there in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. So let's see what social media has to say about the cooling breaks.
Bruh, I would rather watch the players drink their water. Even though we cannot hear what they are saying, even though there's nothing happening, I'm sure all football fans would much rather prefer when it's a hydration break, we watch them drink their water, bro. Like, the cameras pan throughout the stadium, you know what I mean? I don't care if all we're seeing is them drinking the water and I don't care. I just don't want ads. Bruh, I would rather watch...
Coach, you know what? The hydration breaks have become a prime spot for advertising now. I remember the times when the hydration break was just introduced and we could see that drone shot or that camera shot of the players in the huddle and coaches like Pep Guardiola going crazy, handing out instructions and team talks and all of that. And now we're being bombarded by ads. How do you feel about it?
The world has changed. It has evolved. And I think the organizers are tapping into making some money. FIFA would have been dumping a lot of funds to different nations in and around the world. And these countries, World Cup generates probably the top 5 largest viewership, all right? And when it comes on to sports. And if you can get your ads going up when millions are watching, then you're going to be generating funds. And I just think the organizers are being innovative. It is new. And because it is new, I think it is creating some amount of discomfort, like anything else.
All right, I hear you, Coach. Let me hear from Rashida and our Germany fan, Leon. Does it feel like football is becoming quite like the American sports where the NBA and the NFL, they have those commercial breaks where the match will wait until they come back to commence? Is that what's happening, Rashida?
Definitely, Kimani. And I'm anti-ads, FIFA. I don't want to see it because, as you said, by the time we come back to the game has already started and we'd have missed something. Also, the intensity of these games, even in the Curacao Germany match, they kind of lost momentum after that goal because after the goal, it was immediately the break. And so they kind of had to catch themselves back. And a lot of teams are experiencing that. I'm anti-ad.
Any quick takes, Leon, from you on the ads?
Well, for the ads, against it, but in a place where the heat, you have to have consideration for the footballers as well. 90 minutes sometime with extra time, seeing where the World Cup is right now. Because right now, Nagelsmann, he has a team on that thing where he's trying to tell them that they must try to climatize to the weather being outside. Because I saw some images with Ram. They have to have a cooling vest and all that the way the heat. So, you know, it's a good and it's an advantage and disadvantage in a way, you know.
Yeah, man, money have to make, as they say. And let me just take a quick cooling break myself. Wait, does this count as an ad? Anyway, let's, of course, our good friends at Pepsi deserve an ad. Let's take a look at something that maybe Coach Thomas might enjoy. Coach Thomas is known as a freshman amongst the coaches in Jamaica on the touchline. Let's see some drip from social media. That's what they call it now.
Okay.
Coach. Drip. This should be a screenshot or a photo of the African teams looking decked out in their drip. The young people call it.
Wow.
Coach, DR Congo. You see that leopard-looking print along with the suit?
Right.
Yeah, man, the African teams really showing up. You have Senegal there in the army green, and they have their African-looking tunic on. And then Côte d'Ivoire looking quite colorful.
Right,
they were in action earlier. Coach, if we had to give a top three in ascending order, let's begin at 3. Who do you have at 3? I think I'd go Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
Bit too bright.
Show them back again from please.
Yeah. We're gonna ask our producer just to run that back a bit because coach has to scrutinize this, you know.
I think DR Congo will be 1 for me. I think I like that.
Okay.
Côte d'Ivoire is a little bit too loud. All right, so they'll be in 3 for me. And Senegal will be 2.
All right, let's ask the beauty queen. Rashida, give us your top 3 for the drip check.
As a lover of AFCON, I'm used to this. So this is what these teams are known to doing in AFCON. So I'm glad they're doing it. And as a half Senegalese, I'm sorry, guys, I'm going to put Senegal first.
Half Senegal.
DR Congo and Côte d'Ivoire goes last for me.
All right, Leon. Oh, the drip. Rate the drip, man. Can we have the drip back on the screen so Leon can just refresh his memory?
He needs time.
Because, I mean, the prints are... Leon, talk to us.
Same order as Coach Thomas say, you know. Ivory Coast, then Senegal and DR Congo.
All right. It sounds good. Let me ask you this, though. If Jamaica was at the World Cup, at the showpiece, do you guys anticipate us? What would the style be? Talk to us. What do you think? Polo?
I definitely want, because I think football classic suits are fun. You know, a decked out suit, even, you know, collaborating with a Jamaican designer. But I would not want Jamaica to turn up in a tracksuit on the world's biggest stage. So it's a fashion show. Short.
Okay, I hear that. Any take, coach? Quick.
Probably you would have seen some the Bob Marley colors coming out. Right? You might say Adidas organize something and design something because they have done some really good apparels. So I think you would see something nice. You know, I think you see something nice.
Wow, what could have been, coach? What could have been? Now, Curacao, they got their first ever World Cup goal today. Huge. But let's hear a fan on social media speaking about them being whacked 7-1.
I don't care that Germany scored 7 goals. I don't care the Brazilians are experiencing trauma seeing that scoreline again. Curaçao got their goal, baby, and gave us one of the most beautiful moments of this World Cup so far.
World Cup history. Curaçao in their World Cup debut against footballing giants Germany get their first ever FIFA World Cup goal. And it was a time in a competitive portion of the match where they actually equalized against the Germans. And even though the fans in Houston were 90% German, you could hear those Curaçaoans cheer. What a moment for the smallest nation to ever qualify for a World Cup, Curaçao. How many people? 150,000 around.
Unreal, bro. This is the beauty of an expanded World Cup. Curaçao deserves to be here, and I'm glad they got their moment.
Wow, they did get their moment, and the Blue Wave have everything to be proud of because they are at the showpiece. They scored on one of the most decorated countries on the planet. Coach, shouldn't be understated. So, kudos to Curacao.
Yeah. They deserved it. And I said to you before, they were brave. And in being brave, before they scored the goal, they had about 2 half chances. And the Bakuna brothers, one of them, the more offensive one. The entire country, it's a very, very small country though, very, very small country, must have been happy. You know, I am thinking that this is one of them Robbie Earl moment that we had in 1990. I'm not sure if you're too young to remember, but one of those massive Robbie Earl moment that we all had when he scored against Croatia. So back then, how elated I was and what it did to the country and my community, I can just imagine how Curacao are feeling or would have felt when the goal scored.
Yeah, Rashida, Leon, quick reactions.
That's the World Cup for you, and also a 48-team extended World Cup. This doesn't happen if it didn't get extended, so I think their fans can hold on to that and look forward to the next game. You guys have 2 more games. It's going to be a fun World Cup for you.
Leon.
Same thing as the coach said a while ago. I was here just murmuring it with Rashida, you know. That same match, Croatia, Jamaica, when Robbie Earl went up for that header. It all brought joy to us, you know, first World Cup, first goal. And we even went on, even though Argentina gave us a 6, we went on and we destroyed Japan with Nakata. So that was a good show, and we were good at the World Cup.
What could have been Hakimani, what could have been.
Please don't mind me. I mean, it's still very, very sad that we aren't there over there in our neighborhood with the easiest route handed to
us,
our beloved country. But that's it for Fan Central Extra Time. It's been a lovely time of reflection on all the action here today. I just want to say kudos especially to our local Germany fan.
Every 4 years, I'm famous, my boss.
Every 4 years, he's famous.
them have the video on speed dial, so we have to send it. We win today on the videos, still a circuit, our win.
Yes. Hey, Leon is a national treasure. Rashida, thank you from the fan corner as well. Rashida, thank you. You are always excellent. You're always filled with energy. And of course, our breakdown extraordinaire, Coach Jermaine Thomas. Always a pleasure, Coach.
Yeah, man, thanks.
And to you, our viewers, thank you for joining us. It's been a lovely time. Thank you to Tyrone Marshall as well, former reggae boy. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for more of the action over there in the football showpiece. And you can tune in here on Fan Central Extra Time, powered by Pepsi, to get all the analysis, all the trends, all the drip, and more of the beautiful game. Take care.
CVM TV, everybody.
Static.
Fan Central Extra Time, brought to you by Pepsi and Courts, bringing value home.
Welcome to the Pepsi Football Nation.
Rule number 1, it's called football, not soccer.
Rule number 2, they should get rid of VAR.
No. Every decision should go to VAR.
Write this down. Pepsi should be the official drink of the nation.
I love that. They won't agree on anything.
That's where Rule 100 kicks in. Everything gets settled on the pitch. What about you? What rule would you want?
The following program has been rated PG-13 and is suitable for viewers over the age of 13 years.